Shoot him, back two. Good kill, good kill. Hey, good kill.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're in the F-5 and we're fighting a Mig-23. And so in this fight I'm going to try to keep him one circle just because the F-5 I think is a little bit more nimble than he is. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a 20-degree offset here. And if he doesn't deny my turning room, I'll be able to cut across his tail and should kill him pretty easily. But he denied my turning room by turning into me. Here's the lead turn, and I'm going to beat him in this one circle, and I'm going to spray him if he crosses my nose. There we go, and I'm pretty sure I hit him there. So you just have to use a bit of a vertical component when you're crossing somebody's nose like that, just so they can't shoot at you. Now I wanted to do this fight because in the 1980s, the Soviet Mig-23 faced off against a bunch of American aircraft. Let me get a shot here. I don't want to shoot them in the middle of an entire city. Have my rounds bust into somebody's house. And so they thought that the Mig-23 could take on the American F-14. Almost have them here. There we go, that's some good hits. But they were wrong because the Iranian F-14s were able to shoot down 58 Mig-23s over the course of that war, very much to the disappointment of the Iraqi Air Force. And so I was saying in the last round, 58 Mig-23s were shot down by F-14s, and I believe 20 more were lost to F-5s and F-4s. So the American aircraft proved very superior to pretty much everything the Iraqis had. Now you could make a case that that was, something to do with training, but, it is what it is. The numbers are what they are. You can make of that what you like. And so remember the last time we had the one circle fight here, he crossed my nose. He's almost always going to lose the one circle fight against me, which is what I'm trying to force. And if he learned his lesson from last time, he's going to go ahead and use the vertical component, which is what he's doing here. Notice how he stays out of my nose by doing that. Well done. Now if I can keep him in the one circle fight here, I should be pretty well off. There we go, and I'm pretty much slotted in behind him. As soon as he loses the first turn, the fight's basically over, and I'm just trying not to be greedy and build up some energy before I finish him off here. And so just not shooting here because, again, I don't want my 20 mil rounds to rip into a family's house and kill a whole bunch of people. This is looking good. There's some definite hits there. A couple hits there, I think. And yeah, that hit him in the tail, and I think it messed him up. His control surfaces look whack, and there's the ejection. Good. And he's going to crash into somebody's front yard. Now, the Mig-23 was one of the most produced aircraft with variable geometry wings. I believe over 5,000 of them were built. Many, many more than the F-14, but many, many more were shot down, obviously, many of them by F-14s. Americans have shot down MiG-23s. We know the Gulf of Sidra incident. And then, as we talked about, the Iran-Iraq War, 1980 to 1988, many, many MiG-23s were shot down. So, you know, the numbers don't really lie. I think the F-5 has a little bit more trouble than an F-14, but still very, very capable of shooting down a MiG-23. And here we are once again in that one circle turn, except this time he does much better. And pretty even through that one circle turn there. And kind of worried here. I'm going to have to climb over his nose this time. Okay. He's doing a much better job in the one circle this time. Okay, and now he's out in front, as expected, and we'll light him up here. May have hit him there. May have hit him there. I think I did, actually. And once I'm behind him, I mean, short of me making a critical mistake, there's not a whole lot he can do. And he's trying to transition here into a rate fight, but I'm not going to let him. Just going to keep pouring rounds on him. And he's actually kind of getting away from me. I'm going to build up some speed here. Oh, and he reversed his turn. Look at this. What a critical mistake. Fox 2 doesn't track. I think I hit him there. Yeah, he got hit there. He's damaged for sure. Oh, he shot just underneath me there. Super lucky. And I think he's actually dead. That was his last-ditch effort to fight just before he died. Oof. That's a hell of a crash. Alright guys, so quick little Tacview review here. I want to talk about turning room a little bit. Kind of a basic concept, but you know, I'm not sure if everybody quite understands it. So we're going to point it out here because I do dogfights with people every now and then and they don't seem to get it. So it's a very basic concept and I just want to point it out so everyone's on the same page. So basically what's going to happen here is assume that this bandit continues straight. Alright. And what you're going to do is create a slight offset. So if this was your initial route, you're going to create a little bit of, sorry about that, we're going to create a little bit of an angle here. And you can be anywhere from 20 to 30 degrees here. And what happens is as he continues forward, your flight path ends up over here. And then maybe a mile away from him, you're going to turn back in and you're going to be here. And then if he continues like this is also a situation that happens in a lot of server situations. People don't necessarily see you. What you can do now is when you turn across his tail, whichever direction he decides to turn, you're going to create all kinds of angles. So if he decides to go 2-circle, right, you're already way ahead of him. And if he decides to come 1-circle, well, that's even better because you're going to be behind him, right? So what you can do if somebody is trying to do this to you is if you realize if they're creating an offset situation to give themselves turning room, you can deny the turning room by turning into them. Instead of continuing on your flight path, you just have to turn into him. And all you're doing is changing the merge position from here, where it usually would have been, you both offset, you just change the merge position to here. But nobody gets any extra turning room if you do this. All right? And so let's get going. So you see Danny here denies my turning room. And we go into the merge and I take him 1-circle. And notice again the lead turns for both of us at the 1-circle. All right, both lead turning, and I'm gonna get in behind him in the 1-circle, so I'm beating him in the 1-circle. And this is the part that we were talking about. If you realize that you've lost the 1-circle, and when you come around you're gonna cross your bandit's nose, you have to add a little bit of a vertical component back here. Okay, you want to kind of just go over, right? You don't want to just cross across his nose where he's going to take a shot at you, right? Just a little bit of vertical. I'm not talking about, you know, go ballistic. Just add 5 or 10 degrees of, you know, climb just really suddenly, and it'll pull you right over his nose, and then you can pull it back down. Maybe even 5 degrees, no more than that. If you're fighting a bandit that has good AOA and can pull his nose up to take the shot, like say it's a Hornet, you might want to add a little bit more than 5 degrees, right? And so if you do that, this won't happen to you. As he crosses the nose, he gets killed. Let's watch that as one big motion. Because he went in front, and then that was it. He was essentially damaged here to the point where he couldn't continue fighting. And he's dead. So literally lost the fight in the first turn. Only because of a simple thing where he didn't use the vertical component. And also theoretically, if your bandit has won the 1-circle, if he beat you in the 1-circle, he probably had to pull hard to do it. And if he had to pull hard to do it, that means you generally have more energy than he does, and you can use a little bit more of the vertical, and he won't be able to point his nose up at you. So that's another reason why it's a good idea to use a little bit of vertical here. Alright guys, so that's going to be the Tacview for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.